Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we focus on practical, honest health information specifically for adults over 60. No gimmicks, no scare tactics, just real guidance you can use starting today. Now, let's talk about eggs and type 2 diabetes. This is one of the most common questions I hear from seniors managing their blood sugar. And it makes sense. For decades, eggs got a bad reputation. We were told they raised cholesterol, clogged arteries, and that eating more than 2 or 3 per week was risky. Many of you grew up hearing that message from doctors, from television, from magazine articles sitting in waiting rooms. But here's the thing. Nutrition science has changed dramatically. And what researchers now understand about eggs, cholesterol, and blood sugar is genuinely surprising, especially for people over 60 who are living with diabetes or prediabetes. So today, we're going to cover exactly what happens inside your body when you eat an egg. We'll look at how eggs affect your blood sugar, your cholesterol, your weight, and your overall health. Then I'll share the safest, smartest way to include eggs in your daily routine without the worry. Let's get into it. To understand why so many diabetics avoid eggs, we need to go back a few decades. In the 1960s and 70s, researchers noticed a connection between dietary cholesterol and heart disease. Eggs contain about 186 milligrams of cholesterol per large egg, almost all of it in the yolk. So the recommendation became simple. Limit eggs, limit cholesterol, protect your heart. For diabetics, this felt especially urgent. People with type 2 diabetes already face higher risks of heart attack and stroke. So avoiding cholesterol-rich foods seemed like common sense. But here's what those early studies got wrong. They assumed that the cholesterol you eat translates directly into cholesterol floating around in your bloodstream. We now know that's an oversimplification. Your liver produces cholesterol every single day, far more than you'd ever get from food. And for most people, when you eat more cholesterol, your liver simply produces less to compensate. Your body is smarter than we gave it credit for. In 2015, the Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee in the United States actually removed the recommended cap on dietary cholesterol. They stated that cholesterol from food is not a nutrient of concern for overconsumption. That was a monumental shift. And yet, many seniors never heard about it. The old fear stuck around like a stubborn stain on a kitchen counter. Now, let's get to the part that matters most if you're managing diabetes. What does an egg actually do to your blood sugar? The answer is beautifully simple. Almost nothing. One large egg contains 0 grams of sugar, 0 grams of carbohydrates, and carbohydrates are what drive blood sugar spikes. When you eat bread, rice, pasta, fruit juice, or cereal, your body breaks those carbohydrates down into glucose. That glucose floods your bloodstream, and your pancreas scrambles to release insulin to manage it. For diabetics, that system is already strained. Eggs sidestep that entire process. They provide roughly 6 grams of high-quality protein and 5 grams of healthy fat, both of which digest slowly, keep you satisfied longer, and cause virtually no rise in blood glucose. Think about what many seniors eat for breakfast instead. A bowl of oatmeal with brown sugar, toast with jam, a glass of orange juice. Each of those can spike your blood sugar within 30 minutes. Meanwhile, 2 scrambled eggs with a handful of spinach, your glucose stays steady, your energy stays even. You don't get that mid-morning crash that sends you reaching for crackers or cookies. A 2019 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed adults with prediabetes and type 2 diabetes who ate 12 eggs per week, roughly 2 per day, for 3 months. The result? No negative changes in cholesterol profiles, no increase in cardiovascular risk markers, and participants reported feeling fuller and more satisfied throughout the day. Some even lost weight. Let me paint a fuller picture of what you're actually getting when you eat an egg. Because it's not just about what eggs don't do, it's about what they actively provide. One large egg delivers choline, a nutrient that supports brain function and memory. This matters enormously after 60, when cognitive decline becomes a genuine concern. Most Americans don't get enough choline, and eggs are one of the richest sources available. You're also getting vitamin D, something many seniors are deficient in, particularly those who spend more time indoors. Vitamin D supports bone density, immune function, and mood regulation. Then there's lutein and zeaxanthin, two antioxidants concentrated in the yolk that protect your eyes from macular degeneration. For seniors already dealing with vision changes, this is significant. You're getting B12 for nerve health and energy, selenium for thyroid function, high-quality protein that helps preserve muscle mass, something your body loses progressively after age 60 if you're not intentional about protein intake. All of this comes in a package that costs roughly 20 to 30 cents per egg. No expensive supplements, no complicated preparation, just a humble egg doing extraordinary work inside your body. All right, this is the question everyone wants answered. How many eggs per day are safe if you have diabetes? Based on the current body of research, most diabetics can safely eat 1 to 3 eggs per day without negative effects on blood sugar or cardiovascular markers. The key studies, including the large Australian trial I mentioned, and several meta-analyses published between 2018 and 2023, consistently show that moderate daily egg consumption does not increase heart disease risk in people with type 2 diabetes. However, and this is important, individual responses do vary. About 25 to 30% of people are what researchers call hyper-responders to dietary cholesterol. For these individuals, eating cholesterol-rich foods does raise their LDL levels more noticeably. If your doctor has specifically told you that your LDL cholesterol is stubbornly high despite medication and lifestyle changes, you might benefit from limiting yourself to 1 egg per day or focusing on egg whites a few times per week. For the majority of seniors with type 2 diabetes, though, 2 eggs daily is a reasonable, evidence-supported amount. Some researchers have even suggested that 3 eggs daily is perfectly fine for most people, but I'd recommend starting with 1 or 2 and monitoring how you feel and what your lab results show at your next checkup. The bottom line? Eggs are not the enemy. They never were. Now, here's where many people accidentally turn a healthy food into something less beneficial. It's not the egg itself that causes problems, it's what you do with it. Let me walk you through the safest preparation methods. Boiled eggs. Hard or soft are arguably the cleanest option. No added oil, no butter, no extra calories. You cook them in water, peel them, and eat them. Simple, portable. You can make a batch on Sunday evening and grab one each morning without any fuss. Poached eggs are another excellent choice. Cooked gently in simmering water, they retain all their nutrients without added fat. Scrambled eggs are perfectly fine. Just watch what you're cooking them in. A small amount of olive oil or a light spray of avocado oil is ideal. Avoid cooking them in large amounts of butter every single day if you're watching your saturated fat intake. Omelets and frittatas can be wonderful, especially when you load them with non-starchy vegetables. Think bell peppers, mushrooms, tomatoes, spinach, onions. These add fiber, vitamins, and volume without raising your blood sugar. Now, here's what to avoid. Don't pair your eggs with white toast, hash browns, bacon every single day, or sugary condiments like ketchup loaded with high fructose corn syrup. Those additions are what spike blood sugar and add inflammatory fats, not the egg itself. A truly diabetes-friendly egg breakfast might look like this. 2 scrambled eggs cooked in a teaspoon of olive oil, served alongside half an avocado and a small handful of cherry tomatoes. That plate gives you protein, healthy fats, fiber, and antioxidants, all with virtually zero impact on your glucose levels. If you're over 60, or if you're caring for an elderly parent or spouse who lives with diabetes, this information could genuinely change the quality of their daily life. Something as small as swapping a sugary breakfast for 2 simple eggs can shift blood sugar patterns within days. I've seen it happen, and I want that for you or your loved one. If you're finding this helpful, tap that subscribe button right now so you don't miss our upcoming videos on blood sugar management, heart health, and nutrition for seniors. We release new content every week, and it's all designed with your needs in mind. Let me share some patterns I see frequently, mistakes that well-meaning people make when trying to include eggs in a diabetic diet. Mistake number 1, throwing away the yolk. Many seniors still eat only egg whites because they're afraid of the yolk. While egg whites are a fine source of protein, you're discarding the most nutrient-dense part of the egg. The yolk contains the choline, the vitamin D, the lutein, the healthy fats. Unless your doctor has specifically told you to avoid yolks, eat the whole egg. That's where the medicine lives. Mistake number 2, eating eggs alongside high glycemic foods and blaming the eggs when blood sugar rises. If you eat 2 eggs with 3 slices of white toast and a glass of apple juice, your glucose will spike. The eggs didn't cause that. The refined carbohydrates did. Pay attention to what's sharing the plate. Mistake number 3, not eating enough protein overall. Many seniors barely get 30 grams of protein in an entire day. Your muscles, your bones, your immune system, they all need adequate protein to function. 2 eggs at breakfast gives you 12 grams right out of the gate. Combine that with some Greek yogurt at lunch and a serving of fish at dinner, and you're in a much stronger position. Mistake number 4, relying on processed egg substitutes. Those liquid egg products in cartons often contain additives, preservatives, and sometimes added sugars or flavorings. A real egg, whole, fresh, cracked from its shell, is almost always the better choice. I want to briefly share some of the most recent findings because this field continues to evolve. A 2022 systematic review published in the journal Nutrients analyzed 14 controlled trials involving diabetic participants. The conclusion was clear. Egg consumption of up to 12 per week showed no statistically significant impact on fasting glucose, HbA1c levels, or cardiovascular event rates compared to non-egg eating control groups. A 2023 study from the University of Connecticut specifically examined older adults with metabolic syndrome, a condition that often precedes full type 2 diabetes. Participants who ate 3 whole eggs daily for 12 weeks showed improved insulin sensitivity compared to those who ate an equivalent amount of egg substitute. The whole egg group also showed increases in HDL cholesterol, that's the protective kind, and reductions in inflammatory markers. Research from 2024 published in Diabetes Care looked at breakfast composition in adults over 65 and found that high-protein, low-carbohydrate morning meals, with eggs as the primary protein source, led to significantly lower glucose variability throughout the entire day. Not just after breakfast, the entire day. Science is pointing in one consistent direction. Eggs are not only safe for most diabetics, they may be actively beneficial. I always want to be honest with you. While eggs are safe for the vast majority of people with diabetes, there are situations where you should check with your healthcare provider before making changes. If you have familial hypercholesterolemia, a genetic condition causing extremely high cholesterol, your doctor may recommend limiting dietary cholesterol more strictly. If you've recently had a cardiac event like a heart attack or stroke, your cardiologist might have specific dietary restrictions that override general guidelines. If you're on blood-thinning medications or have kidney disease with protein restrictions, your overall protein intake needs to be monitored carefully. For everyone else, and that's most of you watching, adding 1 to 3 eggs to your daily routine is a safe, smart, evidence-backed choice. But always keep your doctor in the loop about dietary changes. Bring it up at your next appointment. Say, I've been eating 2 eggs a day. Does that work with my current treatment plan? A good physician will appreciate that question. Let me leave you with a few easy, practical meal ideas that work beautifully for seniors managing blood sugar. Morning option 1. 2 hard-boiled eggs, a quarter of an avocado mashed with a pinch of salt, and a small handful of walnuts. Ready in under 2 minutes if you boil eggs ahead of time. Morning option 2. A 2-egg omelet with sautéed spinach, diced tomatoes, and a sprinkle of feta cheese, cooked in a teaspoon of olive oil. Pair it with half a cup of fresh berries on the side. Lunch option. Egg salad made with Greek yogurt instead of mayonnaise, served over a bed of mixed greens with cucumber and a drizzle of lemon vinaigrette. Snack option. One hard-boiled egg sliced over a few whole grain crackers with a thin spread of hummus. Dinner option. A vegetable frittata made with eggs, zucchini, bell peppers, and a handful of grated parmesan. Bake it in the oven, slice it into wedges, and refrigerate the leftovers for easy reheating tomorrow. Notice that every one of these combinations keeps carbohydrates low, protein high, and blood sugar stable. No complicated recipes, no expensive ingredients, just real food doing real work. Let's bring this all together. Eggs do not spike blood sugar. They contain zero carbohydrates and provide high-quality protein, healthy fats, and essential nutrients that seniors desperately need, especially choline for brain health, vitamin D for bones, and lutein for aging eyes. The outdated fear about eggs and cholesterol has been thoroughly addressed by modern research. For most people with type 2 diabetes, 1 to 3 eggs per day is safe and potentially beneficial. The safest preparation methods are boiled, poached, or lightly scrambled in olive oil. Pair your eggs with vegetables and healthy fats, not processed carbohydrates, and your blood sugar will thank you for it. You deserve to enjoy your meals without guilt or confusion. You deserve clear, honest information that helps you take control of your health rather than living in fear of it. And something as simple, as affordable, and as nourishing as an egg can be a quiet act of self-care every single morning. Tomorrow, crack that egg into the pan with confidence. Your body knows what to do with it. If this video helped you, please share it with a friend, a spouse, a family member, anyone over 60 who's managing diabetes and wondering what they can safely eat. Sometimes the most powerful gift we can give someone is clear information at the right time. Hit subscribe so you never miss our weekly health updates. Drop a comment below. Tell me, how do you like your eggs prepared? I'd love to hear from you. Take good care of yourself. You're worth it. And I'll see you in the next one.